Hello, everybody. This is Morten from Inkish. Today, I have the pleasure of talking to a gentleman that is, I guess, quite known in the industry, Francis. So, Francis, welcome to Inkish.
Thank you, Morten. Good to be here.
And just for the audience to know, if Francis and I refer to something we've been talking about before, it's not on purpose, but we tried last week with some technical issues, and we hope they are solved today, so we can get a conversation without too much interruption. Just to have that disclaimer, Francis, you have recently been appointed as responsible for Tecnau in all of America. So, what is your title, and how excited are you?
I couldn't be more excited. I recently retired and I thought the retirement was going to be a bit longer, but this was just such an amazing opportunity for me that I didn't want to pass up. And I'm grateful to be back in the industry and grateful that the DeMarco family has the confidence in me to take over as the president of the Americas, but also chief marketing officer for the organization, as I think there's a lot of opportunity
Oh,
there
really?
to
Okay.
continue to promote and build the Tecnau and Sitma brands
Mm.
in the industry. So that's the title. Just got started. I'm in like day 8, drinking from a fire hose, trying to learn as much as I possibly can and meet the people, and very excited about it, I have to say.
And you are soon going to Italy to be on site for the first time, right?
That's correct. So I'll
Mm.
be leaving on Saturday, actually a week from Saturday,
Mm.
to spend a week out there, not only with Tecnau but also with Sitma to meet a
Mm.
lot of the executives and get more information on the partners and the products and just start building relationships.
Mm. I can tell you that when I hear your name mentioned on LinkedIn and by friends, I think that a lot of people think that Tecnow has got a very, very well positioned person in your role. So I think you will do fine. Do you know? I mean, because Jeff that you're replacing, he's been with Tecnow for many years, and I think he's a really great person as well. Uh, a week in, how much difference do you think there is in management style and where you want to take tech now in America?
I think so. Jeff has done so many incredible things, not just for Tecnau but for our industry. And it's a real time for all of us to celebrate his contributions and celebrate his retirement. I'm really excited for him, and I'm excited for his wife and what lies ahead for them.
And
I
maybe
also like.
and maybe his retirement will be lasting a little bit longer than yours, right?
Oh, I think for sure. I think he's very committed to it. And I think the best part about his retirement, too, is that he remains on the board of directors at Tech now. So he's
Mm.
been named a board member,
Hmm.
which is going to help the industry, is going to help Tech now, and it's certainly going to help me because
Mm.
I view him as a resource, as a mentor,
Mm.
and somebody that I'm going to need to look to, especially in the shorter term, for guidance. So
Mm.
I'm also grateful to say that Jeff is staying on for a few months to help
Yeah,
me and to help
it's
the
good so you know
organization.
where the papers are and get to know people, right? Because
Yeah, and
like when you are in an international organization, you have both the Italians on both the Sitma and the Techno side, but also, I mean, your colleagues in America that is not all in one office, but also work remotely, right? So I guess that is good to have somebody who can guide you in the right directions when you need help, right?
yeah, and Jeff has a lot of respect within the organization, and I need to earn that. Of course, it doesn't come with just me coming in, and
Mm.
so where we're very similar in management style is taking the time to meet the people, understand the people, work with the people component being first, and I think that's where we're very similar.
Mm.
And I think if I just build on what Jeff has built inside of Tech now, I think we're all going to come together very quickly and start off in a very good way.
Mm. You have already mentioned, of course, Tech now and also Sitma. Sitma was acquired, I think it was last year and I will say that I interviewed Stefan DeMarco about that, and it seemed to me that like a fantastic opportunity, especially since more and more packaging companies are moving away from plastic into paper-based packaging. Do you see that as like two separate organizations, or you see them more and more working closer in collaboration? Because I know they do different products, but it's paper based everything. So how do you see the two organizations?
Yeah, so after day 8, but I certainly looked into this a lot as I was making my decision on what to do with my career and my next move. But I can only give you an early impression, and that is I'm anxious to get to Italy in 2 weeks to sit down with the SIPMA people and the organization, learn the products, to formulate more about how that comes together. Today, really separate, separate markets, separate applications, but is there a way to really leverage that? And I don't know the answer yet.
Mm.
So I'm curious. I'm very
Mm.
curious. So I think, Morton, if you and I come together in maybe 45 more days, I can give you some additional opinions and ideas of what we're going to be doing with that.
Was that an invite or a threat?
Yeah, it's an invite.
Okay, fantastic. I can tell you that it's been quite funny because I didn't know Sigma so well until the acquisition, but it was actually more because I was a little bit too ignorant, to be honest, because I have been visiting quite a few, both American and European customers that are using Tecnau finishing equipment, but also using Sigma. So there is, I would say that it's probably not totally unknown to the also to the printing industry, all the products that is done by Sigma. But it will be exciting to see how you see that when you get back. I just remember that Stefano said to me that when you move away from plastic, the Sigma, which has been focusing on paper-based packaging for a long time, obviously should have an opportunity that is exciting to see in a market that definitely will probably definitely go away from plastic more and more, right?
Yeah. I find the most fun in my job, at least for me, is building an emotional attachment to a brand.
Mm.
And it doesn't happen overnight, but really uncovering what's special about a brand and what you want to communicate about that brand and getting people really attached to that brand. And I can't wait to discover what the secret sauce is around Sitma. And I think there's some opportunity with Tecnow too, and really exploiting that and delivering out to the marketplace something that can help drive print. Because
Mm.
at the end, um, the success of Tecno and Sitmo certainly is important, but the success of the customers that utilize these products to bring print out to the marketplace and make print more prevalent out
Mm.
in the industry. I mean, uh, print is gospel for all of us, and I believe Sitma has an opportunity to continue to bring more print applications out into our space.
Mm. I think you're right. And I must say that when it comes to tech now and your, let's say, background, last time I was so stupid only talking about your background in with Canon, but as you said yourself, both Kodak and HB has also been part of your background. So the people you know in the industry must be fun because I mean, before you were focusing on, let's say, one print OEM, now you can focus on tech now and Sigma, but go into all the OEMs in America. And since you know both the products and the market, it gives you a lot of new opportunities, right?
Yeah, I have to say, I didn't plan it this way, but this having that Kodak experience, the HP experience, and the Canon experience has given me so much um, opportunity just to go out.
Mm.
The reach has been amazing that I've been able to be a part of through these three organizations. And I think if I can leverage the reach that I have through all the relationships that I have, again, not only help TechNow and Sitmo, but help the entire industry to grow. And
Mm. Mm.
that's what I want to do in the next 10 years of my career. I want to see our
Mm.
industry grow. I want to sit back, maybe 10, 12 years from now and say, I played a role, and I'm
Mm.
leaving the industry in a better place than what it was. That's what I'm
That is,
hoping.
I like when people express bold ambitions because I mean it is a vast industry and there's a lot of opportunities and obviously I think that tech now is very well positioned when you think about that the digital transformation when it comes to, let's say, how commercial print is maybe moving away from or complementing the offset litho offset with digital inkjet opportunities. I think that tech now is very well positioned in that. And I guess that you mentioned to me last time also that it's not just a matter of having that, let's say, the past relationships as an employee, but that you have also got like friends, and this is an industry where people move from company to company. So I guess your network is extremely important these days to get you positioned in a new role, representing a new OEM.
Yeah, and people move around a lot. It's almost like professional football or soccer or something where people change teams, and
We're just missing the transfer prices, right?
that's exactly right, right? And I think if we all work together in the spirit of growing the industry, there's one of my favorite words, it's co-opetition, and just doing what's right to help, because we can't do it. There isn't any one company that can do it on their own.
Mm.
And the relationships are key, and we're all getting a little up in age, but let's continue to bring younger people into our industry, and let's make sure they can pick up where we're all going to leave off. But the relationships, there's nothing more important in business than relationships. Much more important than the products or anything else that we're doing. It's how we all work together and the respect we have for one another, and having a common mission and celebrating the vision that we have, and enjoying the journey as we progress to that vision.
The situation in the market obviously changed a little bit now, where we're talking about tariffs and all these things.
Yeah.
Is that something? I mean, because you told me also the other day that you are responsible for both Canada and Latin America as well. But I guess that of course still the US is the biggest market. So is that something that you and the leadership has already started to think about? Okay, what are the opportunities for you guys in the market, especially if let's say the tariffs gets on a level of 10-25%? I mean, that is, I guess, too much to absorb from the OEM side, right?
Yeah, it's well, I'll tell you, I lost sleep about it again last night. I think all the business leaders around the world are losing sleep about it. What we need is we need some consistency on what's going to happen, and we need a definitive answer of what's going to happen. But the waffling back and forth,
that's
tariff,
making
no tariff,
difficult. Yeah,
10%, 20%. It's we have to know what we're doing in order to run our businesses. And what I am going to say is we're all going to have to share in that. There isn't any one company that can absorb,
of course not,
the increased tariffs. And so right now, I think it's important that none of us panic.
Yeah.
We give the administration a little more time. When I say a little more time, probably not past June, to understand what's going to happen. And then we're going to have to make some decisions around how we all go to market, to make sure that we don't pause the industry. We keep the industry moving, but at the same time, we're all able to keep our businesses healthy in the process.
I can't remember, because I mean, if you look at Tecnau today, it is a company that has grown also through a few acquisitions, like the LaserMax back in Sweden in the old times. I can't remember. Do you have any production in the US now, or is it mainly service and maintenance and things like that, or do you have any production in the US?
Was your question, Morten? I'm sorry, you broke up a little bit there. Was your question, do we have products in the US?
No. I was just thinking that if you look at how Tecnau has become Tecnau, it is also because of the acquisitions, like Sigma is the latest one, but it was LaserMax in the past. And I can't remember, do Tecnau have any production in the US as of now?
We have engineering and manufacturing. Okay. Yes, this kind of builds on your tariff question a little bit.
Yeah.
And
so
we're
basically,
looking at, are there additional ways that we can avoid some of the tariffs and do maybe more manufacturing in the United States? So it's a question, but we do have capability inside the United States, and we do that already. So we'll see how we progress and what we need to do. And I think the next couple months will really answer that question.
But it is the reason I'm asking is mainly because, if you have these opportunities, of course, it makes your situation better than if you didn't have any opportunity here. So I'm just asking because I think that if you look at the you're now working in a let's say a part of the industry where there's not too many suppliers, so every competitive advantage you can get I guess you will catch, right?
Yeah, no, it's a great question. And, for all the companies that are trying to work through the tariffs, we're trying to figure out ways to avoid some of the incremental costs that are coming our ways. And certainly maybe changing some of our manufacturing processes can do that. So certainly on the table.
When we talk about, as I said it just a moment ago, that you see that digital transformation from litho offset to more and more into inkjet. I guess that also will keep you busy in all the. I mean, because both the Latin American and North American market are huge markets, and I have been. I want to send you an email, but I didn't have your business email, so I hope I can get that later. Because I was doing a little bit of research on Latin America as potentially emerging markets and opportunities. Is that a market that you address today, or is it something that you see also a bright future for in that growth that they see now in domestically?
Yeah, I would say that's been a disappointment overall, the way the growth has occurred. And I think there's a lot that can be done to grow. So I would say we're at the tip of the iceberg
Mm,
in growing the digital printing markets, especially around Latin America, Mexico, and other parts of the Americas. So I think it's quite frankly an untapped opportunity. I think
mm,
everybody's doing okay there, but there's
mm,
much more opportunity. And you kind of started off talking about offset,
mm,
and we're starting to see an acceleration of offset transfer.
mm,
Finally, I mean, we've kind of seen that, but the
mm,
slope of the curve has not been what we had expected. We were kind of expecting a hockey stick at this point. That
mm.
is starting to speed up.
Yeah.
It's starting to speed up because inventory carrying costs, having a healthy balance sheet becomes very important. Maximizing cash flow, so inventory becomes really important. Also, labor.
Mm, mm.
These people who run offset presses, they're skilled, right?
Yeah.
It's an art, it's a craft,
Yeah.
and many of them are retiring, and they're unfortunately we don't have people coming up that have that same type of skill. So
Yeah.
that's another reason why a lot of the transfer is coming over to digital,
Mm,
and just shorter run lengths in general, based on whether it's country or language or whatever it may be. But just the opportunity to run shorter run lengths and customization and personalization. It's all, I think we're going to see that hockey stick late this year, and I think we're going to see it as we progress over the next few years.
mm. Francis, when you look at yourself, do you see yourself as a competitive person?
I see myself as a community builder,
Hmm.
as a cooperative person, and as somebody that has certainly a commitment to the organization I work for, but at the same time, a bigger commitment. I think there's a bigger calling for all
Mm,
the executives in our industry to, I've said it a couple times now, but to grow the industry. So
mm,
I want to win. I think we have a God-given right to our market share
mm,
and to win our fair share,
mm,
more of the business. But again, it's a bigger calling, I think, for
mm.
all of us, for the industry.
But that is not bad. I mean, so that is, in my opinion, really good. It's good to have that, let's say, competitive edge, as you say. You want to win your God given right to the market shares, but I mean, sometimes you have to fight a little bit for them. So, and the reason I'm asking is just because the person behind the leader is, of course, also the one that is guiding your organization to drive in, the right side of the road, but also at the right speed, right? So I was just curious about how you see that, because do you have any idols, or like I wouldn't say mentors, because they are often alive and close to you, but somebody that you see as a leader that is inspiring you?
Yeah, I've got a number of them, and I've been blessed in that I've had people uh, look at me and say there's some untapped potential here, and really want to invest a lot of their time in helping me become a better person and a better
Nice.
executive and become
Mm-hmm.
better educated. And I've got a group of them, but I'm gonna pick two who inspire me
Mm-hmm.
outside of the industry. And one is who's right above my head here, a jersey anyway, of Tom Seaver, who was a pitcher for the New York Mets, who
Okay.
took an organization from the very bottom, couldn't win, to winning a World Series, and the way in which he went about his role in the organization of becoming a leader. He's been an inspiration. And then Jerry Garcia, who was the lead guitar player and leader for the Grateful Dead.
Mm,
And many people laugh about that, as I would understand, but his ability to consistently deliver the unexpected and to keep people guessing and wanting and creating an environment where people would want more, but also creating a community of kindness, growing the whole pie as opposed to being so worried about your little chunk of it, and doing what's right by others, always doing the right thing. And I've kind of led my life based on what I've learned from those two individuals.
But that sounds like two great people too, and I would say great to have something that is, sometimes if you have people that are, let's say, that has really done a difference, then it can be like it's not so easy to reach that direction. So basically, you have to work hard to get there, right? And I think that is also part of what makes this industry great. That is, we have a lot of people that actually do that extra mile to get the industry, not just for their own companies, but also in general. I think that's talks very much in your favor, to be honest. So what do you like to do in your spare time? Are you a guy that is standing behind the kitchen Friday evening and being the chef, or how do you see yourself in that perspective?
Thank you for asking. So I love to go to restaurants. That's and I have one in particular, but restaurants in general. I love to go out. I love just the experience, the dining experience. So that's really a big one for me. And then that is my cleaning person's here today. Wanted to come in. I told her not a good idea right now. It's okay. So the eating experience is big for me. I play a little bit of golf, but not very well. But the big thing for me is getting time with my wife, Monica. And when I can see my two boys, I have two boys. One's getting married in September. Lives in Nashville. And then I've got another one that I'm lucky enough lives here in Boca Raton, but he works a lot of hours. I don't get to see him as much. But when I get some family time, that's what's most important to me.
So I guess that if you like dining, it will be a problem to drag you out of Italy again, right?
But thanks for asking, Morten. That's an important question for me. So thank you for asking.
I think it's the most important question. I always say that one of the things I like about Italians, and I really mean it in a positive way, is that it seems that living gets before everything else, and that includes a big portion is art and food, right? And I think that the rest of us can learn a lot from that. And when you are now the leader of Tecnau, maybe you can bring even more of the Italian lifestyle back to the US, right? Who knows, right? Well, I think, first of all, Francis, I would like to thank you very much for taking time. I know that it's busy when you're new in the job, and I know also that it's limited how much you know about the organization and even the products. But I hope we will have an opportunity to meet in person at some point, and also to catch up on when you know a little bit more about the direction of where you want to take it. So thank you for your time here on Inkish, and great seeing you, and all the best with your new work.
Well, let me thank you for making time, and maybe we come together in another 4 or 5 months, and I'll be able to tell you a lot more about what's happening at Tecnau and SITMA and how we expect to approach the marketplace, maybe in a little different way.
I'm sure about that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Morten. Good catching up.
Yeah.
I'll see you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.